Okay, there we are. And I do have a 6-minute timer, so I'm about to set that to 6 minutes. So you'll hear an alarm and I will stop at that point. It's been quite 2 years. And reflecting on that, one cough and the entire world changed. And turned our minds and our thoughts to several things. First, the virus, then the swabs, and then the shots, the vaccine. That has occupied our mind and our thoughts during these 2 years. And I find it remarkable that in January of 2020, there were 0 scientific publications having to do with COVID. And now there are 200,000 plus publications in the medical literature, in the scientific literature. As of right now, over 100 million Americans remain unvaccinated. They are at high risk and they put others at risk. And I'll come back to that in a few slides. And this is a slide that I put together with the best statistics that I'm able to find. And as of yet, they're still approximations. So people who have had 2 shots, that's about 64% of the US population. Those who have had booster shots, 42%. Unvaccinated, approximately 25%. That's a CDC estimate, and I'm sure that's underestimating that number. And those who have had COVID, against the CDC estimate is 23%, but I'm sure that's on the low side. Probably it's higher than that. Now let's go back to the basics. The vaccine. What is in the vial? Well, the main component of the vaccine, of course, is the mRNA. And the other components are very simple. It's water, sucrose, and some FDA-approved buffers. There are no preservatives, no antibiotics, no adjuvants, and all components are rapidly cleared. Our mRNA vaccine cannot alter DNA. I repeat that. mRNA vaccine cannot alter DNA. Moderna's or Pfizer's, it will be in the cytoplasm of our cells. There's only a few copies of the vaccine mRNA as compared to the over 200,000 cellular mRNAs that we have normally. The vaccine mRNA will remain in the cytoplasm until eliminated by natural mRNA decay. To alter DNA would need to both access the nucleus and be reverse transcribed. However, there are no known reverse transcription sites and it contains no nuclear access signals. So it cannot penetrate the nucleus and alter our DNA. This is old news by now. Initially, we rapidly discovered that vaccine would protect from symptomatic COVID. If you got 1 dose, you got 52% protection. 2 doses gave us 95% and 90% protection from serious COVID. The question now is 2 shots, 3 shots, or 4 shots? Well, the first and second shot have been known to protect, certainly from Delta and from other variants, not from Omicron, as we have learned. Is the booster necessary? Yes, we know that higher levels of antibodies are present after you receive the booster, and fewer cases of COVID-19 in those with 2 shots plus booster than in those with 2 shots only. And of course, fewer cases of COVID-19 in those who have been vaccinated as compared to those who have not been vaccinated. Now, this is an interesting clinical trial, 2 shots versus 2 plus booster. And this was a very, very strong study because they had over 300,000 subjects in this study. They were observed up to 65 days, and there were 4 times fewer cases of COVID-19 in those with 2+ booster. 4 times fewer cases. So certainly the booster helps. Excuse me. So the 3rd shot, yes, it's necessary, it's important. The 4th shot is a strong maybe. We don't know, but we're going to find out pretty soon if it's necessary. Now, here's another interesting study with over 9,000 subjects studied. And what they did was they took vaccinated and unvaccinated subjects and tested them for PCR. They did not have COVID at the time, but those who were vaccinated, some did turn out to be positive, about 1%. In the unvaccinated, it was 4 times as many who turned out to be positive, 1% versus 4%. So the unvaccinated, asymptomatic, do not have COVID at the time, 4% were positive. And they are virus carriers and they are infectious. If they're not immunized, they are 100% infectious. That's my...
That's okay. Keep going, Antonio. Go on.
You tell me when to stop.
Okay, we'll do.
If they're not immunized but had COVID, then the capacity to infect you goes down to 20%, but they're still carriers. And even though asymptomatic, they can transmit the virus. If you're immunized and have 2 shots, that drops down to 5%. The infectivity is very low, but it's still there. So people who have had COVID, who maybe have had it even twice, still have to wear masks in order not to infect others because they may be virus carriers.
Okay, how about 2 more slides and that's it, please.
Okay. Now this I think is not just interesting, it's important. And this is a big study also, over 3,000 subjects. And those who were vaccinated had 64% less fatigue when they got COVID a second time or after vaccine. They had 54% less headache. Make the story short, the bottom line on long COVID is that the virus itself causes long COVID. It's the virus, not the vaccine. The unvaccinated have more symptoms when they get COVID. And those who have been vaccinated and get COVID, they have 66% less symptoms. Maybe I should stop there.
I think so. I think
I'll be glad to answer questions at some other time. You can call me or we can communicate by email. Thank you.
We might have some time at the next meeting.